Alrighty, so I have the beautiful Annie. How do you pronounce your surname, Annie? Is it Fothergill?
Yeah, Fothergill, that's it. Yeah, you did just cut out there.
Yeah, you did as well. We're having such great technical difficulties. Let's go and let's see how it goes. In all honesty, I can chop and change a few little bits if needs be, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Cool.
So thank you for joining me. Annie was part of my pro bonos, and you've jumped on my plant-based weight loss coaching program to test it out. So I wanted to first of all ask you, Annie, paint us a little picture. Like, where were you before we started? What was going on? What were you struggling with?
I was struggling a lot with my motivation. I was very sedentary, and knowing that I needed to do something, that I wanted to do something, but just somehow lacking the emphasis and the oomph and the motivation to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, how was that on a day-to-day? What did it look like for you?
I knew I was eating the wrong things, and that looked like me binging on foods that weren't doing my body any favors, and just feeling generally uncomfortable in my skin, and knowing that my weight would be creeping up but not wanting to really acknowledge that.
And I mean, how were you sitting emotionally and mentally? Was this affecting you at all? Was it something that you saw the coaching program, the post that I put up? Was it something that you were like, I needed that?
Yeah, it was really affecting me. I think it was affecting my self-esteem and how I was feeling about myself, and looking at my friends who, you know, all look lovely and slim and healthy, and thinking, what am I doing differently from them? And feeling kind of upset with myself and disappointed in myself for that.
I mean, you are a mum of two. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I know, but so are they. So I was like, what am I, you know, what's the difference? What do they, what's the secret that they know that I don't?
Yeah.
And I think, in all honesty, it's just that I am quite an emotional eater, and I also give myself excuses, or was giving myself quite a lot of excuses to eat when I didn't really need to. I was using it as kind of like this is my right to do this. Which is,
sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it's quite destructive, really, quite self-destructive to have that approach.
And where do you think that that kind of come from? Was it something that's developed over time, or do you think that it's always been there and it's not been necessarily noticed?
I think it probably stems from my childhood, when there were just different cultural and family understandings about weight, and it was just, I think I've kind of grown up in a culture of fat shaming, and although the intention behind that is to be positive, it's really not. It's just destructive. And also about looking at food as treats, and seeing having chocolate and crisps as kind of naughty and bad, and at the same time as a treat. So kind of mixed messages. So yeah, I can't really remember a time in my life when I didn't feel that way.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that.
Okay.
And what other things had you tried to combat this, if anything?
I have kind of gone through periods where I've been exercising and eating much better, and that's been successful, but then it's been maintaining it for me. I've sort of, in the past, I have done Rosemary Connolly and, you know, a bit of Weight Watchers and that kind of thing, but I sort of knew that didn't work, so I haven't taken that seriously in my kind of in the last decade or so. But yeah, I think it's just about sort of changing my mindset, really. And knowing that I can do this long term, and it can just be who I am, is somebody who's a healthy eater and who exercises regularly, rather than it being kind of a short term thing that I do and then I fall back into destruction mode.
Okay, so you tried Weight Watchers, and what was the other one that you said that you tried? Sorry.
Rosemary Connolly, which was it's
Do you know-
old school.
Yeah, do you know what? Out of all of them, I've not heard that one, to be honest with you.
It's because where I'm from in Hertfordshire, there's a lady there who's, she's doing quite well with it. So she was quite successful in my hometown.
Okay.
She had a big group. So I guess it depends on who the person running the particular franchise as to what's popular where.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, and was it, I mean, how did it feel when you were tackling those at the time? Did it feel quite supportive? Did it feel enjoyable, or was it just the other way around? Because I know that you mentioned that you said that you kind of didn't go into it with a huge amount of expectations.
No, I think when I was doing Weight Watchers, that was kind of tied up with living in a house with 3 other girls, and everybody being quite conscious of what they were eating and calorie counting and just being part of the culture of the house. And I sort of got swept up in it. So I didn't go to meetings or anything. I just kind of followed along with what they told me. But with Rosemary Connolly, I remember going and feeling quite motivated. And I probably wasn't overweight at the time, actually. I was in my early 20s, and it probably didn't really need to be there, but sort of going along because I had this idea that I was fat and, I should do something about it. And that's that kind of culture. And they didn't say to me at any point, you don't need to be here, which I actually think they probably should have done.
Yeah.
Probably should have said, you haven't really got any weight to lose. But, the lady needed to keep her people coming along, I guess.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, so I mean, from what I'm hearing from you is it was pretty much kind of on and off. You didn't really feel like you could tie in with the mums around you, your friends, and there's always been that element of fat shaming and shame and probably a little bit guilt coming alongside growing up.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that must have been really difficult. And I mean, we've only been working together for a month already, which is incredible. So what goals have you kicked this last month? I can't believe it's been a month already. It's gone so fast.
It's gone too fast. Well, I'm exercising pretty much every day. I've been going swimming, and I've got an Apple Watch which I wear now, which has been telling me that I've been burning about 300 calories when I go for a swim. The other day I went to yoga, and that told me, and it's quite an active yoga class, and that told me I'd burnt nearly 200 calories. So that's really good. And I'm feeling better in myself. I think I'm sleeping a bit better actually as well. And I've lost 7 pounds.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's incredible. In just 1 month, Annie, you've been absolutely smashing it. There's not been one day that you've come to the session going, it's not working or anything like that. You've just come with such positivity, and you've been smashing it every single week.
Thank you.
And really driving for success and to smash your goals. So I mean, what was your ultimate goal going into this? Was it more plant-based? Was it more weight loss, a little bit of balance?
Well, I've been plant-based for a very long time, so that was already there, but I think it was a real focus on whole foods. Again, I sort of knew what I should be doing, but wasn't necessarily doing it for some reason, and cutting out the fatty, sugary foods, because that I was getting a kind of an afternoon dip where I'd have my lunch and then I'd want something sweet, or also I was getting a kind of late morning cravings around 10:30, 11, and that's when I'd kind of give in and eat like a family size pack of crisps or 3 packets of small crisps, and then feel disgusting afterwards. But because I wasn't having breakfast and my energy was low, I was just really dipping, and I was getting this sort of fizzy feeling with low blood sugar and low energy.
Yeah. So let me get this right. You've been eating more and you've been losing weight.
Have I been eating more? I don't know, Bianca. I've certainly been eating differently. Maybe it's more. Maybe I'm having more meals. I haven't thought about it like that. I'm definitely adding breakfast in most days. I'm still guilty that I'm not having breakfast every day.
That's all right. Okay.
Is that you phoning me?
No.
Oh, so Zoom was just phoning me randomly. That's really odd.
Difficulties today have been laughable, really have.
Phoning me now, that's really strange. Anyway, what was I saying? I can't remember now. Sorry, Bianca, I've lost my train of thought.
That's all right. So it seems like your mid-morning energy kind of dip has stopped. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry, did I go away?
Yeah, no, that's all good. And you said that you weren't always eating breakfast. So now you're eating breakfast, you're not getting those mid-morning cravings, which is when you would usually tend to go towards those fatty, salty foods, which were kind of your nemesis, really. So you've incorporated a breakfast, we've incorporated a beautiful, healthy smoothie to kickstart your energy levels as well. And and you've lost 7 pounds in 1 month, which is incredible.
Yeah, so nearly halfway to my goal.
Amazing. Well done. And you are smashing it, like I said. Beautiful, Annie. Well, thank you for sharing that. I very much appreciate it. So moving on, I just have one more question for you. And it's, what made this easy? What made it work for you?
I think having your support, having your energy and enthusiasm and motivation and positivity. There's been no kind of telling off or fear or, that kind of hate, that sort of dreaded weigh-in thing where it's like, oh, have you lost weight or put on weight or stayed the same, and you get a certificate if you've lost loads of weight. And, it's just been really
sorry.
Exactly. No, so it's just been really nice to chat with you. You're lovely, and you're really easy to talk to, and just nice having your support and knowing that you're behind me. Really, it's really good.
Oh,
and all the the tricks and tactics that you've given me as well have been really helpful. I don't really feel like I need things at the moment now, because I feel like it's just sort of in me. But I know that they're there if I do kind of fall down again.
And it's learning all of those tools that keeps it sustainable, right, throughout your life. I mean, we all go through ebbs and flows, and life is a roller coaster, and we can't always be on point 24/7, although you have been so far. For the rest of our lives, we can't be all perfectly on point. But the things that you're learning in the previous month and the upcoming months, they're going to make such a difference to your life, and you can always come back to them and implement them and change the context of these tools that I've given you to apply to your life in different stages, right?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on this short testimony video. I appreciate it. Your weight loss has been insane. 7 pounds in 1 month. Congratulations. By being plant-based and by eating more. I think you've been eating more, which is incredible.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Bianca. It's been really
problem at all. I'm just going to stop recording and we'll carry on talking.
Cool.
Right.
Sorry, it really threw me off.